Hey, what is up, everybody? It is Seth with an Only Kinda Marks update video type dealy. We have a scheduled one on Brock Lesnar still coming out. Had some editing updates, so I'm just jumping on here with a quick my thoughts on WWE Money in the Bank. So we're just going to touch on a couple of the matches here. We'll start with the men's Money in the Bank. Damian Priest winning. I'm not going to lie, he was in the top three that I figured could win. But man, after that pop with LA Knight, I know WWE wants to keep saying have faith and just be patient, but this is a company that is notorious for dropping the ball. Um, I hope they have something planned for him. It feels like Damian Priest winning is just to set up some kind of dissension and breakup of the Judgment Day, which I don't necessarily agree with, as I think they're one of the best things on Raw right now. But you know, that be what it is. At least it wasn't Logan Paul who won. Next match I'm going to touch on real quick will be Shayna Baszler, Ronda Rousey versus Raquel Rodriguez and Liv Morgan. The surprise turn, definitely out of nowhere. It's good to see that WWE is able to do those kinds of turns. Throw a surprise out that people aren't expecting. I know I've seen some rumors coming out that were saying that Rousey is hard on her way out. They were actually supposed to have a longer tag team title reign, kind of do some teasing, some long-term setup like they've been doing. But it sounds like this will be a rush job where Shayna's probably going to go over Rousey. I mean, as far as the tag team title switch goes, I think that's the smaller talking point coming out of that match. Let's be realistic. But hey, you know, hopefully WWE does some stuff with the tag team championship and doesn't just put Liv and Raquel together so Raquel can turn on Liv later. Next match, again, I'm not necessarily in any order. Got Dominic Mysterio versus Cody Rhodes. Correct me if I'm wrong, I could have swore that Michael Cole said that was going to main event. Thought that was kind of a weird choice of words, but here we are. It was a closer to mid-card, upper mid-card, one of the last few matches. But it was pretty much exactly what I expected out of that match. Cody really in control, Dominic being able to show that he can get out of situations, but his character right now is just that guy that I don't know why he hasn't gotten beaten yet, but he hasn't. He's just survived his way through a match. So props on Dominic for definitely getting this character and understanding it and really running with it. And props for Cody for being able to put that match together in such a way that I don't think anybody thought Dominic was going to win, but at least putting it together in a way that people were like, yeah, no, this is a decent match. I think that's a testament to Cody's draw at this point, that there was a time that had Cody gotten in the ring with Dominic, I don't think people would have believed that Cody was going to definitively win. That time is obviously long since passed, so good on everybody in that match. It is a bit of a disappointment that Rhea Ripley really wasn't doing much for that pay-per-view, that premium live event. But I think that hopefully we get something with Rhea Ripley soon so she can start having that dominant reign that she should be having to begin with. Next, we're just going to touch on the women's Money in the Bank. First off, I'm just going to say props that we didn't have a cash-in immediately. That's a positive. I wanted Zelina Vega to win. I didn't think she would. I'm glad Io Sky won. The handcuffing bit was the most unique I've seen. There's an image going around where you can see Becky and Bayley are handcuffed and Io at the top of the ladder. If you actually zoom in on that, it looks like that cuff on Trish is, no, excuse me, not Trish, on Becky Lynch is so loose that she's actually holding the handcuff still attached to her hand to keep it from falling off. Which is good. You don't want the performers to get hurt, but just an interesting thing I saw that I was pointing out. Full of high spots. I'm surprised Trish was in the match to begin with, and surprised she took the risks in that match that she did. Obviously, she took them as safely as she could. She didn't have to take those risks. She didn't even have to be in the match. She's a bona fide legend. But it's proof that Trish is really willing to go hard for this run, because this is going to be her last run. You can't convince me we're going to get another Trish Stratus run. Next one I'm going to go into real quick, because I do want to wrap this up because I don't want it to be super long. We're going to talk about the big one. And I don't mean the Bloodline match. That is the big one. The Intercontinental Championship. I am a huge fan of Gunther and this Intercontinental Championship run. They didn't do a really good job at making me believe that Matt Riddle was going to win that match. I honestly don't think for a second I thought Matt Riddle was going to win. I don't think there was a single point where I was like, yeah, he's got this. This was, from bell to bell, this was just a Gunther squash match, which there's nothing wrong with that. I appreciate that Gunther doesn't necessarily have a finishing move. This match really ended with him chopping Matt Riddle's foot and then locking him in a submission, which props. It shows smarts for the ring general to just be like, he's got a bad foot. Why would I not just beat the crap out of it? Drew McIntyre's return, absolutely solid. Did not see it coming. It will be interesting to see where we go from there, because I still really want Gunther to hold on to that title, but I think this will be the first time in a minute that Gunther's title has been really threatened. Not to say, well, let's be realistic, since WrestleMania, when it was Sheamus and Drew challenging for that title. I think that was the last time that the title has really been on the line, if you will. But yeah, it was a great match. Next one, we are finally going to get to the main event, the Bloodline Civil War. Man, the first half of that match was bad. And I don't mean bad like, it just stunk the place up. It just was, given everything we were told and how the story was progressing. Man, I did not think that they would start with holds. I thought we would start with both teams just brawling. And man, maybe for me, that took me out like the first quarter to first half of that match. It just, I don't know what it was. It was good, but that first half just, I couldn't get into it. The last half, they picked up the action. It was a lot faster, a lot more heavy hitting, kind of what I expected from the first half of the match, with kind of a rest in between and then going back to what they did at the finish. Man, I wish we could have gotten through without a ref bump. That seems to be just a part of Roman's matches. Granted, they did the ref bump right this time. He didn't get the win. I liked the touch of Jey Uso doing the low blow as he kicked out, as Roman has done a few times throughout this reign. I've been saying for a while that Roman's going to be taking a loss in a tag team match. Looks like it'll probably be Jey Uso versus Roman Reigns at SummerSlam. Not a bad match. It's literally the feud that started this Bloodline story arc. So it's good to see it come for full circle. It'll be interesting to see where we go with Solo Sikoa at this juncture. I question if he's going to get that turn and full-on run. It sounds like WWE wants to wrap the storyline up. I hope they don't. It's the best story on TV. But, man, sometimes you just... Do you let it go till everyone's done with it, or do you finish it while everyone cares? That's kind of where we're at with the Bloodline. I think, man, I'd almost say it is time to start winding it down. Not that anyone's getting bored of it. There are people getting bored of it, but there are people on the internet. They have opinions about everything. Not that I'm necessarily getting bored with the Bloodline feud, but I am in the camp of leave people wanting more than run it so dry that by the time it's done, nobody cares. So maybe we do a rush and get Solo his face against Roman Reigns at maybe, I don't know, Survivor Series maybe, although I much prefer a like maybe Seth Rollins versus Roman Reigns at Survivor Series, and then have Solo Sikoa turn on Roman at Survivor Series. That would be a nice setup for your December pay-per-view or even Royal Rumble Solo Sikoa versus Roman Reigns. That's kind of my thought on how I would book that, but this twist and turn has been great. I am looking forward to seeing the kind of interactions we get with the Usos and Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens, because they've done those small teases here and there where we'll see Sami and Jay. Man, I would love for Sami to congratulate him and we get one more Usi moment, just because I'm a dork and that popped me. But overall, it was a good pay-per-view, premium live event, whatever you want to call it. I really enjoyed it. I don't think it was the absolute banger that it probably could have been. Every match on that card, if it had hit right, could have been a match of the night contender, and for whatever reason, just nothing really hit the way it should have or could have. So I think that kind of hurt the overall pay-per-view. The Money in the Bank men's, I get, the whole thing. And I said, real quick, I guess I will mention the Seth Rollins Finn Balor match. I thought Finn should have won. The whole, just because Damian Priest got up, Finn didn't hit the coup de grace, costing him the match. That was ridiculous. So I'd say that in of itself kind of blew that whole match. But like I said, when talking about the men's Money in the Bank, that whole Damian Priest winning just seems to set up a dissension and eventual somebody leaving the Judgment Day, probably Finn. So, pay-per-view was good. Again, not a great start. Okay, mid. The very ending, though, was great. If I had to give it like a 1 to 10, I'd say it was a solid 7 out of 10, 6 to 7 out of 10. Great pay-per-view. Looking forward to see what the next step will be. But anyway, guys, that was my quick thoughts on WWE Money in the Bank. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and keep an eye out. Like I said, we have a video on the Beast Brock Lesnar. More specifically, the idea of Brock Lesnar debuting in the 80s, where me and the other guys, we kind of build these storyline timelines, if you will, where we see if Brock could, in theory, make it from the 80s debuting, and could he be the legend and icon that the Beast is today. So look forward to that video. It should be out either later today or tomorrow. Look forward to seeing you guys soon. And like I said, like, share, subscribe, and we will see you guys in the next video. Bye.